I know, it's insane. No, something fell, sorry, hold on, let me get these books over here and, no, nothing, it was just some books fell and, I don't know, I never got that book before, but anyway. No, I told you he win, dude. I told you, no. Come on, don't believe what the polls say, Jesus. I know. Yeah, no, I don't know. So this book keeps dropping. I don't know what it is. I don't. Oh, dude, that's where it was. Huh. Hey, can I call you back? Huh. What the? What is going on here? Hello?
I want to play a game. It's time to put your baking skills to the test in your first technical challenge.
Who is this?
Your ingredients and recipe are already set for you on the table.
How did you get in my condo? And why is my door locked?
To unlock your door, all I'm asking you is to create a British classic to go with your afternoon tea. The Victoria sandwich.
Why is it a sandwich if it looks like a cake?
No more questions. You have 2 hours or else you can forget about escaping the apartment.
Well, you heard the disembodied voice. Victoria's sandwich is a challenge. So let's put on that apron.
Yeah, put on that apron. You have 2 hours. Mark, get set.
So we have 2 hours. Let's make this Victoria sandwich, shall we? We're gonna start with the sponges. We want a paddle attachment. That's good to go. We want 2 8-inch round pans. What we want to do is that we want to properly grease them and put a line of parchment paper at the bottom. So let me get some of a little greasing butter. It's a little cool, but it's just a little knob of butter. Just perfect for just coating the base of your pan. So cut out 8-inch parchment. I'm just going to line right at the base over here. Make sure the other one is there as well. Alright, and that should be relatively good to go. Let me just do one more of the sides for good measure. And we're going to have a good day. Always have, this was like, I got this from my mom, where like she used to bake and she'd always leave Scott towels everywhere. And, or paper towels, we used to call them Scott towels. But she'd leave them everywhere and it'd be like on the counter and I'm like, Mom, come on, just throw away your Scott towels. And, but now I know why she has Scott towels all over the place because we're always constantly drying our hands. So what we want to do first is, let's prepare the dry ingredients. So you want some flour, baking powder, and salt. And whoever came to my apartment already set these out for me, so that's, thank you people. So I have my flour, my baking powder, and I have my measuring equipment, and I have my salt over here. And I'm missing my measuring spoons. Huh, where did I put those measuring spoons? Ah, got it. So you don't have to sift the dry ingredients. Mary Berry's like, I don't have to sift the ingredients. I never bothered with it, but you know, we're gonna do it here because, you know, we're just gonna be classy that way. So we want 2 cups of flour. If you don't have measuring cups, then you can measure out 250 grams of all-purpose flour. Typically with the Victoria sandwich, in England and overseas, they use the self-raising flour. It all means that there's like a baking agent in there. So we have 1 cup, so I'm gonna get a 2nd cup. They have more of a raising agent. There's like extra things about baking powder. However, I do not have self-raising flour. I have all-purpose flour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add like 2 extra tablespoons of my baking powder to give it that mimic of the self-raising flour. I need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So let me get my teaspoon measurement. That sounds nice, like, right? So let's do 3. 1, 2. And now while we're here, we're gonna have a half teaspoon of salt. So I have my Whole Foods salt here. It's like made from like actual oyster shells. I don't know. This is like, you know, the Whole Foods salt. So you know it's bougie. So you know that this is a Victorian sandwich. So you have to have the bouginess at your disposal. Now that I kind of have this here, I want to make sure that I have my oven preheated. I realized I did not. So you can have it at 350 regular, or if you're a fan of circulating ovens, just do 320 fan. My baking powder is in here, and my flour is in here, and I'm just going to give that just a nice little sift. Again, you don't have to do this part, but you know, who doesn't like a little fine mixing of flour, you know? I want to make sure that everything's incorporated, and you see the flour dust happening in here right now, so we're gonna get high on flour. That's okay. That's okay. We all get a little high sometimes. Okay. And then what I want to do is that I'm gonna get my handy dandy fork again, and just mix it around a little bit. Just make sure that's all incorporated. I'm gonna set that aside. Just like that, 7 minutes, done. So what we're going to do is that we're going to prepare to cream the butter and the sugar. What I want a cup of sugar, and I want some unsalted butter. So actually what I'm going to do, because I kind of dirtied my measuring cup over here, what I want to do is that I want to use a scale to weigh out my sugar. Thank you people for not giving me my scale when I need it. Gosh, what are these people, American? So at any rate, so if you don't have a measuring cup disposable for your sugar, try having 200 grams of granulated sugar instead. So I'm just going to put it right into my mixing bowl until I get to 200 grams. All right, we're almost there. Come on! 192, 194, we're almost there. 200 pounds, oh my god. Did I say 200 pounds? Lord, that was like 5th grade when I was that weight. So anyway, we have 200 grams of sugar. Make sure that's locked in and set. Remember, a paddle attachment. So we want basically 2 sticks of unsalted butter. So 2 sticks are approximately like 227 grams, but you want to make sure it's softened. So I was able to leave this out for a good hour before today. So, oh, not me, the gods, or whoever did this. But make sure that it's softened, it's very important, or else it won't be able to cream properly. So you just want to add the butter into your sugar mixture. And you want to cream that for like 3 to 4 minutes on a relatively high speed. Make sure that it gets like really nice, pale, and fluffy. So let's put that in the trash and do what my mama told me. Let's wash my hands with a dry cloth. Make sure that's up here. Make sure that's plugged in. Go a little softly at first. And then as they say in I Love Lucy, speed it up a little. While that's going, I'm just gonna crack my eggs into a little bowl here. And make sure that these eggs are 4 large eggs and that they're room temperature. Very, very important. I'm always scared to do the one-handed egg yolk thing because I'm like, I'm gonna do it wrong, so maybe you just have to challenge yourselves and do things that you're not so comfortable with, right? The color's getting lighter, which is nice, getting fluffier. Butter and sugar. How can you go wrong with that? Maybe we'll give it another little bit of time or so. In the meantime, we're gonna have to make the jam. So I'm gonna weigh out. I'm gonna weigh out 200 grams of jam. So I have my little saucepan here. These raspberries have been washed, thank God. And just make sure to get 200 grams. 250 grams of my sugar. set that aside. Back to the sponge. So what I'm gonna do is that I wanna add in my eggs one at a time and make sure that's well mixed. So this is getting nice and fluffy. This is exactly what we want to see. So I'm very pleased with that. And I'm sure the gods will kind of smile at me at this point, you know? If not, then, oh well, my career is done. So then we're gonna add one egg at a time, mixing well in between. So hopefully I can get just one egg in there at a time. Another egg. Make sure that's well mixed. Add the other egg. Make sure that's all fun. We are going to put in half of the flour mixture. Probably not the most professional way to do this, but make that incorporated. If the batter looks like it was like curdling, don't worry about it. Just put in some flour and it'll congeal together. So don't have a fuss, dear. Don't have a fuss. Now to loosen up the batter a little bit, I have a little bit of milk. I have around 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm just gonna incorporate that in there. Just loosen up the batter just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to write home about. And then I'm gonna put the rest of the flour in there. On a low speed, make sure it's at a low speed, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm actually gonna take it off. Oops. Take it off here. And I'm just gonna finish it by hand mixing it. Just because I'm deathly afraid of like over mixing this thing. And that's something that I really don't wanna do. So I'm just gonna do like a little J formation, a little folding. Oh, my oven's ready. So I'm gonna try to divide this batter in two. I'm just gonna try to eye it. I know I should probably use a scale, but you know what? Not gonna. And you can't tell me otherwise. So good. It's like you just want to eat this up like crazy at the moment. But you're just like, no, don't do it, there's people watching. Just so it covers the pan, the base of the pan. Parchment paper decides to move on me. Let that not happen to you, okay? Don't be like me. Don't get caught up in this whole crazy nonsense of your parchment paper going astray. So that's not cool. That's not a cool look on anybody. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is just put it in the oven, set a timer for like 20 minutes or so, and pretty good. Put it in the middle shelf. Oh yeah, one's more than the other. So let's put on the middle shelf here. Set up a timer. Set it for 20 minutes, and then we'll check back on you. Let's make a jam. So in the Victoria sandwich is the classic raspberry jam that typically goes with the Victoria sandwich. So we want to incorporate that over here as well. So with my induction, I'm just gonna do like a medium heat. And with my wooden spatula, I wanna make sure that I get the sugar melted. So I like to keep constantly moving the sugar with the raspberries. Don't fret if this takes a while. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, the sugar has melted, and right now I'm just trying to smash in these raspberries as much as I can. I want to keep the integrity of the taste, the flavor, and I'm going to keep the seeds in this as well. And so I want to make sure that I have that. So sometimes what I do is that I want to just mash the raspberries like against the side of the pan. So that will help me like just squeeze all the juices out of there. You see, it's already starting to simmer. So when it starts to simmer like that, let it simmer, let it grow, and let it boil for up to like 4 minutes or so. Really just hits the flavor, hits the taste so nicely. So I want to make sure that we're conscious on the time, and we're doing good. Only like 28 minutes down, and we're at this part. I think it's a win. Maybe, I don't know. So this has been like boiling for about 4 minutes. So I'm just gonna take it off the heat, remove it from the heat, and just put it into a little glass bowl, little heat-proof glass bowl, so I can let it cool down. That's awesome. That's great. I'm just gonna sit this out here for a little bit and play the waiting game for our cakes. When did this get dirty? Oh God, I gotta wash that. Just rise. Rise for me, please. Be good to me. Be good. 1, 2, 3. I love you. Gotta love your cakes. How else baking what's worth? It's worth nothing if you don't love your cakes. 1005, 1006, 1007. So I'm taking it a little bit early just to give it a check. And I'm seeing that, yep, so I see the cakes are already starting to pull away from the pan, and I do have a soft springy touch to it. So I'm gonna take these guys out. I'm okay with that. So I was just able to flip one sponge out of the pan so that it can cool. So that looks really nice. That looks really nice. It looks really spongy. I'm liking how that's looking. Now the other one is a little bit smaller, but we're gonna turn that out. I'm gonna turn it out. And hopefully just have the same effect, and boom. And the parchment paper stayed in the bag. That's okay. So we have nice, spongy, light to the touch cakes. Very nice. So we're gonna let this cool. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna let this cool completely before we assemble our pieces together. It's a tornado! So next we're going to do the whipped cream filling. So all you need is some granulated sugar, heavy whipping cream, and we're just going to have just like a little tinge of vanilla extract just to top it off. So we're going to have around like a tablespoon of the sugar. It really doesn't need that much. A lot of the sweetness is coming from the jam. So no need to like go crazy. So a tablespoon of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. All right, that's enough of that. I don't know why I put this in the scale. I don't need it, but it looks really nicely propped up. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So we're gonna need 3/4 cup or 188 mils of heavy cream. So I have half. I come from a science and math background, so like anything that's math and science really appeals to me, and I think that's why I really like baking so much, is that, you know, baking is a science. Like it's, how many times have we heard that? But it's like following a protocol, right? And in my line of work, I'm a scientist, like we follow protocols all the time, so me, I'm like, I'm right in my home zone, so it gets me going, so I'm really happy about that. Again, we have some organic vanilla extract, as the bloggers do, right? This is from Whole Foods, Madagascar apparently, so I'm like, if I can get it open, thank you. I was like, is there a man in the house? Let's get this thing open. Here we go. So we're just gonna do a half teaspoon. It's like some liquid gold stuff, you know? It's gonna give just that light, that nice touch, you know? And we're just gonna whip until we get to like medium peaks to firm peaks. We are really close. See, it's getting a little thicker now. It's getting a little bit thicker, it's droopy, but we don't want droop. We are slowly getting, see, it's a little too soft. See, like the little peaks keep on like, you know, drooping forward. Getting all that air in there, and see, this gets a little bit on the stiffer side, that's okay. This little more firm peaks action, but I'm okay with that. It's gonna provide a nice little texture to our cake. So this is ready to go. So I just took the raspberry out of the fridge, raspberry jam out of the fridge so they can cool just a little bit more and a little bit faster. And just spread that along the base of your bottom layer of sponge. Don't go quite to the edge because then it's gonna spill off, but like, you know what, who's gonna care if it does, right? So we're just gonna add now the whipped cream to our raspberry jam. So we just plop that right on top and just smooth over the cream. Try to distribute as much as you can, but be careful, you don't have to go all the way to the edge because you're gonna have to squeeze the top piece as well. Just gently put it on top. Squeeze just a little bit. Oh, that oozy goodness. With that's not a big deal. Then, take a little bit of your powdered sugar, and then we're just gonna make it look, we're just gonna make this look pretty. So let's take some powdered sugar, pour some on top, and just smear it over. If you don't have enough, always add more. Oh yeah. There you have it, the Victorian sandwich. I'd say we nailed it. Almost 40 minutes left. Looks like I am out of here.
You may have bested us this time, but rest assured that will not happen again.
Well, until then, mettiamoci alla cottura. Ciao.